Hello, my name is Nixie Sanderson, and I am here today to discuss an action research proposal looking into reading comprehension skills of high school students, specifically in the area of informational text. We are wanting to look at the effects of language acquisition on reading comprehension skills, as well as the effects of students' self perceived reading comprehension skills compared to their actual measured levels of reading comprehension demonstrated through a variety of assessment criteria. Similar studies have been done, particularly in language acquisition skills. Some studies have been conducted that have suggested that there is a correlation between students with high self reported confidence in their reading comprehension skills and their actual reading comprehension skills. Specifically, students who have self reported high confidence in their reading comprehension skills tend to score better. The purpose of this study would be to expand upon that research and continue the investigation into that correlation. In order to do that, we're going to need to use a mixed methodology of data collection that would include quantitative data from state standardized testing. We would use both the interim testing from the fall and spring, as well as EOC testing that is conducted at the end of the school year. Additionally, we would take data from the classroom, general assignments, and such that the students complete that would be an indication of their comprehension of text. We would also be looking at qualitative data in the form of the students' self reflections, as well as focus groups comprised of the students who are participating in this study. Having both qualitative and quantitative data is really going to provide some reliability to the results that we are able to record. We would have the concrete data from the testing, but we would also be able to correlate that with the students' self reflections and their focus groups. And having that correlation is invaluable to providing reliability to the study. As anything goes, particularly studies, there are many parties who would have a stake in this process. Of course, the first being the instructor, responsible for the planning, the implementation, data collection, and reporting. And then the students would be the next biggest participant. As such, they are the ones who are actually doing the study. They are the ones going through the process of the activities, the assignments, the testing, the self reflections. This is where our data comes from. School administration, of course, would be involved. That would serve as a review board, as well as be the ones to make any decisions regarding what we would do with the data going forward at the end of the study. And then, of course, parents. Parents are the ultimate stakeholder in their children's education. They are the ones at the bottom line who are responsible for seeing that their students receive the best education. And so their consent and, of course, their feedback would be of utmost importance to the study process. As a timeline, it would take approximately 2 weeks for planning and creating a timeline, getting this going, and looking at an additional 2 weeks for pre implementation, making sure that data is gathered from the fall interims, which would provide the baseline going into the study, as well as putting together the documentation templates for the students for their self reflection aspect of the study. Another 6 weeks would then be for the initial implementation of the study. We would use this 6 week grading period to implement the self reflection process and collect data from students' assignments. From there, we would hit midpoint where we would have our spring interim testing. Usually takes about a week to get all students tested and data collected. We would then go into another 6 week period of classroom implementation and data collection, followed by a final testing stage. Takes about a week to get the state EOC testing done for the end of the school year. Usually, it takes about a month to 6 weeks to get that data back. We're going to budget for 2 months just to err on the side of caution. It does take longer to get that EOC data back than it does the interim testing. Then we'll allot 2 weeks for data analysis and synthesization into reports that are then able to be presented to the various stakeholders. And we'll give a good 2 weeks for that to make sure we have appropriate meetings with all stakeholders involved to go through the data. Expectations for this, of course, the first and foremost being measurable improvement in the reading comprehension skills of the students. That's the ultimate goal for them. I'd also like to see empowerment for the students and for teachers to be able to implement strategies that we find effective through the course of this study. We also want students to be able to navigate their perceived reading skills and then be able to continue using those beyond the scope of the study in ways that are beneficial to them. Overall, the action resource or action research process really is going to provide a formal foundation for being able to conduct data collection and implementation of the results, synthesizing that into ways to improve lesson planning and to move forward in data driven ways that are beneficial to the students and have concrete evidence to go beyond just the informal data that we as teachers are always collecting. It just takes it one step further and makes us more productive and hopefully more efficient in our planning for the future. Here we'll see references for the studies and other work cited earlier in the presentation. Thank you for your time today.